Hi everybody. Well, it's finally dried up a couple days here in Iowa, so I think we're going to go ahead. This is going to be my second time out now with the Grapple, and things are dried up enough. I'm comfortable. I'm not going to rut my yard up, and you can see the piles of brush behind me and to my left. That's what we're going to pick up. The grass is growing up. I got to get this stuff out of here today. So here we go. Second trip using the Grapple, and second or third. Let's go see how we do. You're going to see me bring the wheels of the tractor off the ground a couple times. I'm going to call it operational error. I'm used to using the bucket, and so I'm just getting used to the controls here, and I must be pressing down too hard and creating the front end of the tractor to come off the ground. That much force is not necessary, so don't let that mislead you. Okay, so this is actually my first attempt to transport brush to another location. So what I'm experiencing here is how it's coming off and how it's coming towards the tractor. And I don't want to damage the tractor. So I quickly figured out, well, it's going to be a lot easier to go backwards and drag the brush along. I'll have more comment on that in a minute. While the visibility is good, with that big a pile of brush I quite can't see in front of me, and I noticed driving forward some of the stuff that was loose was grabbing the ground, and I don't want to come back and poke a hole in the tractor or scratch it. So in this case I'm more comfortable backing up, so I'm going to back into the woods. My plan is take this brush, distribute it along our trails here, and then we'll come back and grind those up with the wood chipper. And I think that's going to work real efficient for us. Do you guys have the gnats where you all live? My God, the gnats are on here. They'll just drive you crazy. So anyways, I'm going to clean up a little bit here. We're going to start taking this back in and cleaning up. I'm real happy with that first bite. You can see some fell off, but that's okay. We'll figure this out as we go. What I'm trying to show you here, I couldn't compete with the engine noise, was moving the handle right away from you closes the top jaw there of the brush crusher, and to the left opens it up. These hang independently, like I said on my introduction video, and I had one viewer say, I said you can choke a tree that's larger here and it narrows this way or vice versa. And they said, well, that would have no effect on that because these are independently. These come down together And so once this hits the largest, thickest piece of that trunk, it's going to stop. It's not like this one would go further on a narrower piece. But as we go into this, from the driver's seat, I'm trying to drop this on the ground somewhat, and then I'm trying to get it to glide along and come into my brush pile, then close this down on it. But I'm also playing with bringing this on top of the brush pile and then just pinching it. Like I said in another video, it's kind of like those games where you drop the grapple and grab the teddy bear, kind of come in from the top. So I'm just playing with this now. Let's see how this pile goes. This is a good pile because look, we've got a lot of brush from a tree we took down. I've got construction material here from a remodeling porch project, and here's old deck boards and some pallets. I want to see how it's going to pick all that up for me. That's all going to go to the burn pile. So let's take on the brush pile first, and we'll see how that goes. Then we'll take it out along the trail there, and I'm going to grind it up later. And we'll go back and take a look at the place we started. So in 2 bites, that cleaned that all up real nice. Okay, so let me try to explain what we're doing, what I'm trying to do here. I found that perfect height there for that bottom jaw to just kind of drag along the ground. And then I'm kind of bulldozering the pile together. And then I close that top jaw down onto it, pinch it, and lift it all up. What I find out here real quickly is it's too wide to take down the trail. Well, that's an old tangly mess of brush there, isn't it? But it picked it up real nice, but it's too wide for the trail. That's why I stopped. When I picked it up, it picked the whole thing up. I was surprised at the amount and the width. So I'm going to leave it right there. We'll just chew it up right here. But I went ahead and lifted it up and demonstrated how it would lift. So that worked pretty good. For grins, let's go over and bite into that construction rubble next to it and see what that does. We're going to lift that up. We'll put it back down because I don't have the dump trailer here and ready for that yet. Let's go see how I can get a bite of that and how that's going to work. As my wife and I were just talking, as we learn here together, I'm going to drop this lower jaw down to that brush pile, and I'm going to push it in the woods a little bit further. It really does a nice job of being able to push brush out of the way, and unlike a bucket, I can pinch it, lift it up, and I could put it in the woods a lot farther. Let me just go through that slow with you and show you how I'm going to try that, how I'm going to demonstrate that. Let's see how this works. What I was trying to demonstrate there is getting this tooth in there and trying to slide into the brush pile, and you can tell when it's digging in because this starts going more vertical. So then I just raised it up, got on a good position there, and then I just pushed it in. I lifted it up to show you could move that pile anywhere you want, and then when I let it down, the right side, some of it got stuck in these teeth, so then I raised it, and then it broke away freely. So again, we're learning together. Let's go over and take a bite out of that rubble there of log porch posts and decking. Let's see how it takes a bite on that. I would never put my hand in that pile. That pile's been sitting there now for 3 or 4 months. There's all kinds of critters up here and critters I don't want to meet. So this is a big value to me, being able to pick it up and move brush and debris like this. I don't want to meet those critters that live up here. We get along, but I don't want to meet them.
I don't know what I was trying to accomplish here. I think it was a coordination of controls issue. See how I'm bringing the front of the tractor up? I think I'm learning how to run that grapple yet, and for some reason I must have been taking the control arm and pushing down, thus bringing the tractor up. I think that's just a operator error there, because that's not needed or required to lift that material. This was real easy to pick up. I just drove the tractor up to the log, and then when the top jaw got past it, the lower or underneath the tree obviously, and then just closed the top jaw and lift it up. I'll have more comments on the size of this tree, but boy, I couldn't be happier with the way it's picking this up. So we're going to just take it right over to the wood pile. Have you picked up on that sound of a bell or a rattling in this video? What I learned after making the video, the rubber strap that holds the air filter in place broke. So I corrected that and fixed that. But that's what that ringing metal sound is.
Well, that's an honest 8-inch diameter tree. It's 18 feet. That's 18 feet long. What kind of wood is that?
Basswood.
Basswood. So we're going to cut it up here right next to our wood pile. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's a decent sized log. And didn't struggle a bit.
Clamped on both sides, right?
Clamped on both sides, yeah. Let's take a look at that, right. Yeah, you can see what it did here. And it's got a pretty good grip on both sides. Now I guess if this was 10-inch and narrowed to 8, would this squeeze that, or would it stop when it got to the 10? That's what I'm trying to prove or disprove. I think that viewer was right. Once it hits 10, it's not going to go any further. This one won't go independently. So I don't want to mislead anybody. Once it finds its stop point here, that's going to be the stop point here. But boy, I'm pretty impressed. Kind of nice being able to bring it right here to the wood pile and cut it up.
So I'm going to mute out the chainsaw noise, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm lopping it off in 12-inch lengths, and I'm trying to do a couple on one side and a couple on the other side just to keep the balance on the tractor about right. And what was nice about this with that open center is I just went in the center of the log and made a couple of cuts there, and you're going to see how this turned out in a minute. So this worked out real good.
Wow, that worked pretty good. I'm going to measure a foot of this, and let's find out how much that weighed. Oh, 600 pounds. Mm-hmm. And it was an easy lift at 600 pounds. Mm-hmm. Well, it's starting to rain here, surprise. So we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to get this wood put in the fireplace. I hope this was a brief demonstration of some of the different materials you could pick up, from construction debris to brush to a full tree. So I'm going to have more videos on this as I learn. This is my 3rd time. I'm getting a little more comfortable with it as I go. Hope you enjoyed the video. And we'll see you next time from Iowa. Thanks, everybody.